You have it. You have it. You have it. You have it. Too fast. You have it. Too fast. One moment, please. One moment. One moment.
Others, I speak with a passion that goes unheard. They obey you because you are a leader. Unlike some of others, I speak with a passion.
All right, episode number 5, right?
5. Wow.
Oh my goodness, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's we're finding it's an ongoing thing, and we're always like, we gotta record again.
Like we post an episode. I mean, it's really just how time works. Honestly, it's not that surprising. But you release an episode, and then like you turn around 2 days later, and we'd be like, we have to record another one.
It's just like always on your mind.
Yeah. Okay, so last episode we were dealing with the mice problem, and that's why it was delayed, and that's also why we had almost not worked on any part of the game that we needed to work on. So any updates from that? I mean, no more mice. That's like an update, but it's not really a game update.
It's such a delight. I think we're traumatized too, because we had a bad smell in the kitchen a couple days ago. And we were like, what if we have a dead mouse?
In our unpacked boxes. Yeah. Probably will always be a little traumatized from that.
Yeah. Is
traumatized too strong of a word for like seeing a mouse in your living space?
It's our trauma. We live it.
Okay. Okay. So updates on Vampire Janitor.
Yeah. So, truthfully, I've been a bad boy, and I have been gaming way more than game developing.
Oh.
However, I did attempt to make some progress the other day. I wanted to create some functionality in our tutorial level, and so I made a little, just like it's a filler little puddle icon or whatever asset, because it does not match the rest of the background. So I implemented the pixel art background we made for the tutorial. I think it looks good, but I have some work to do on it. But yeah, I did the puddle, and I just simply I put it in the game where if the player just walks over it right now, it'll disappear. So like eventually there will be a cleaning action there, but I just wanted to like have something spawn in the location and then disappear. So I did that with my good friend ChatGPT.
It's nice though.
Yeah.
It's like a cool...
It saves so much time.
Yeah. And I like your line of thinking that like right now it just disappears when they walk over it, but eventually they will be like doing an action for
baby
it to disappear.
steps,
Yeah.
you know? Just, I've never developed a game with such depth before, so I got to do baby steps.
Oh, and I know that roguelite or roguelike games are super popular right now, but going through this process really shows me how much more development you need to create a game that is not that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. I don't think roguelikes should be like, oh, it's super easy to make.
No.
They're not like extensive, and I think that's why a lot of people make them, especially for indie devs, because like RPGs, for example, are just like way above people's pay grade as far as like creating a whole world. Like the problem with RPGs, I saw this on YouTube Shorts once, is that most of the assets are only one-time use. You know, you have a script and you have different missions and whatever. Those are all like one-time use, not reusable. And so it takes a lot of extra time because you got to make a whole lot more stuff.
Yeah, that's...
Where like roguelikes, you can like rinse and repeat a whole bunch of different stuff and make a fun game too. So,
but that's not what we're doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's more like I would say more like an arcade style game.
Agreed.
You know? So that's simple, but like we get a lot of control over it, which I like.
Me too.
But I mean, as far as progress goes, that's about it for me. I don't have anything else. Oh, I made I recorded just from my voice, like a bloop sound when you step over it. That's what I was working on before I could finish. So I didn't finish that part. But I did record a nice bloop sound for it. It won't be the final. None of these, like the assets and
they're just stand-ins for
stand-ins.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I go.
It feels like the dev portion you can get very bogged down in it at a certain point, and then you like bring back the fun of the game development parts where you get to create an asset, create a sprite, create a sound, create a game icon.
Well, no, I think I get bogged down in the assets, to be honest. Like, every time I want to do something on the game, I'm like, oh, I gotta create an asset, even if it's just like a fill-in. So I actually don't do a whole lot of the programming. As far as like time and effort goes, I put way more time and effort into like the assets, and then putting those into the game. Those are enjoyable times because I'm working with, my resources like ChatGPT, the internet, and I'm like implementing these things in an engineering way, which I'm trained to do from college, but like not art. I don't know anything about art, so I find more enjoyment out of the development rather than like asset creation.
What if you just created a little bit of a template, or even have ChatGPT, Copilot, or any of them create like little stand-ins that you can use, but you make them all butts. And so whenever you see a butt, you have to replace that with a final product. So, like, the little butt's walking around, he's cleaning the butt with a butt, and then he goes over to another butt, he's got to wipe that up. So, like, like all these butts eventually have got to be replaced by real assets.
Yeah, I guess the essence of what you're saying is helpful. I really should focus on dev stuff rather than assets more.
That's what I was thinking. I'm glad you got it.
That's clever. Yeah, my scruples though.
I know your
I gotta
scruples.
have something that resembles the end product.
Yeah.
To see the progress. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking at a bunch of butts.
That's the end game.
Maybe we don't change it from then.
Just butt janitor.
Rated M for mature.
You probably haven't seen it, but there actually is a show on Adult Swim from a long time ago. I think it was called Assy McGee. Does that ring any bells? He's a cop. It's pretty good. But I'll see if I can find some YouTube clips or even an episode. They're probably short, like 11 minutes. But anyway, off of Assy McGee, I also I made progress with like some YouTube things until I started playing more video games, which is where the progress met a sharp decline to none.
We're in a little thing right now where we really want to game.
Yeah.
We've played, there's WoW, which we've played, both of us.
Yeah.
You're back in it again, of course, as we said. But you gifted me with the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Yep. As like a thank you for doing so much during our move. Like, you were just such a superhero during that. I was like, you deserve the new COD.
I didn't expect it, but thank you. But I've been enjoying the heck out of it because I have not played Call of Duty for like 3 years or something. Probably a little less than that, like 2 years. But like, it's fun. I usually don't like COD that much, but I've been enjoying my time on it. And convincing some friends to buy it has been fun. So
I saw you doing even the campaign. Yeah,
the campaign, very interesting. They have really tried to change it up from like the linear, like you just follow this path mission kind of thing. And I think it's a cool like expansion. There's a lot, like what I mean is some missions feel like a Far Cry game, where it's more like open world. Some missions feel kind of like a Fallout game, where it's a little bit, what's going on here,
What's the tone of the game? Very serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually how they do it.
It's but it's yeah. I mean, that's military stuff, right? I don't know.
Not a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
You said they had managed to put zombies in a new aspect of the game.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I wanted to talk about that here, but that would be a spoiler.
Oh. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, I'll just say they figured out a way to put zombies into the actual campaign, which I thought was really special and really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. That's kind of like that Fallout sort of feel.
Well, I don't know if this should be a spoiler alert, because if you play WoW, surely you've heard of this, but they had WoW 30th anniversary, which...
20th.
No, 20th. Oh my gosh. If it was 30th, we'd really be in a pickle right now. WoW's 20th anniversary live streaming we watched on YouTube, which for me, when I started watching, I was like, oh, nice. Orchestral journey through all of WoW's songs. But then I didn't know the whole time I was watching that they were just releasing content on their channel that I was missing. So.
We were like, we watched the whole thing. The whole thing, because we thought at the end the announcements were going to come.
Yeah.
But little did we know, we looked at the Warcraft YouTube channel after that, and they were releasing the news as we watched the live event.
I was so tricked.
So, I mean, it wasn't a waste of time because it was really cool.
Yeah, I love the music. I love orchestral music, but
we were ready for that news and we missed out.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't miss out, but we just didn't see it at the moment that it dropped, which was what I was trying to get by watching that event.
Yeah.
So, player housing.
Player housing, yeah.
Huge.
I don't really know what to expect from that. I know a lot of people have put a lot of thought and desire into it. I'm not, I don't really care that much.
You didn't care about your garrison?
Well, I thought the garrison was cool. Yeah, I suppose. It gave me something to individually work for.
Yeah, it depends how much we are allowed to devote in customization. If it's just the garrison was oh, you can put this here, you can put this here. It not even close to Sims 4 level, and I don't think we're going to get Sims 4 level. Yeah, so I'm not expecting Sims 4 level, but I'm expecting a little bit more than what we got last time.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not excited, but I am excited actually. I'm excited to see what happens, but it wasn't something that I was yearning for, a lot of the players in the fan base were wanting. But
where's my house going to be?
I'm excited to see.
Yeah, that's
can you choose where your house is going to be?
And will I be able to see it in game, or will I walk into the swirling ether and then I get transported?
There's some things that make me nervous that they could do it wrong. I foresee a house in Stormwind, they just choose a plot, and then all the players are zoning in and out of that house, and it doesn't feel like your house because you're just walking up to a house that everyone else is walking up to. Which
would be the easiest way to dev it, is to do it like that, but that's not really.
But then we're back to garrisons.
Yeah, it's not, the RP is not really there for me.
We'll see how they execute it.
Yeah, Minecraft, they've managed to give me my own house on my own plot of land.
That's its own beast of a game. You can do whatever you want on that one. Yeah. But outside of player housing, there's some other things. They're renewing classic servers.
Yeah, you've been very excited about that.
I admit, I haven't played a ton of vanilla WoW. Because I started in Lich King, shamefully. I know a lot of people might be disappointed at that.
You're a young guy. What can you do?
I played Burning Crusade Classic a bit, but I never really played Vanilla Classic that much. So yeah, I am pretty excited. I talked to my good friend ChatGPT about totally randomly picking a class, race, and spec for me, and it told me to be an Orc Shaman. Enhancement Shaman.
Yeah.
And I'm considering it. I don't know if I will, though. But
not who I would go to for advice, but
I just wanted something completely random.
Ooh. Is that it that we're excited from that announcement?
Pandaria Classic.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people on like Reddit and stuff don't care about that because they just had Pandaria Remix.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, we just did this. But honestly, I'm excited because I didn't play Pandaria a whole lot, but I really liked what I played. The zones are beautiful.
The music's beautiful.
The music's great. I love the aesthetic. And
Yes.
now that we're over like being like butthurt about pandas being introduced to the game, we can actually enjoy it.
That's how I do feel as well. Like when I was playing at launch of Mists, I was so butthurt, as one could say, about Kung Fu Panda. But it was just, I don't even know if it was at all influenced by Kung Fu Panda. Maybe these were just two coincidental events in the universe, but we had just gotten so serious in Lich King. You can't get much more serious than calling a Stratholme. That's like, it's pretty serious, and then killing your dad, and then your dad like helping kill you. And then Cataclysm, that was pretty serious as well.
Yeah.
And then so Mop comes along, and it feels very unserious.
A little goofy.
Yeah. And so that's, at the time, as a very young adult, I felt hurt and betrayed that a game that had taken me to such depths of emotion was now playing in my face.
But it didn't turn out that way. You know, the Shah and the Old God.
Yeah.
And, the Throne of Thunder. Like, these are... Garrosh Hellscream being a psycho. Like, pretty serious stuff.
It turned out to be much more serious than I was thinking, but like at launch, and this is... I honestly haven't even been on the forums of Blizzard. I don't even know if they're still there. Like,
what?
Do you remember back in the day when everyone would go to the WoW forums to talk about
still forums.
Okay, yeah, that's what I don't go on there. It's such a like toxic place of depravity that I haven't gone there in years. But I was very active back then, and I was miffed, just like so many of my kin, and so. Maybe as a little bit of a hive mind. When you're a very young person, you're susceptible to these things.
Yeah. Might have been a little bit of an overreaction back then, I think. But it turned out okay, and I will be partaking.
Yeah. I'm excited they're doing it.
I told myself I would raid in Cataclysm Classic, but I haven't. I have a max level, but like I just... grouping up and talking with other people, like I can't bring myself to do it. Sometimes you can get some real.
How have we slid so far back in sociability from being younger to now? Like
back then, you just wanted to play, so you just do it.
And I really enjoyed the community back then, and like chit chatting with randoms.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I just thought of this. I don't even remember the name of my guild.
Your current guild?
No. My guild from Lich King days.
Actually, when you said your first server that you'd played on,
Medivh,
I didn't even remember what my first server was back then because I've gone through so many. And we transferred servers even to Lich King to get to a better server. So I'm like, I don't know, Magtheridon? I truly don't know. Am I just saying Magtheridon because you said Medivh and my brain is sending me an M word? Like, I don't know what it was. Maelstrom. That was what. Sorry, I literally just thought of it right now. My original server in WoW was Maelstrom. Might not be a server at all anymore because we went more servers. Then there's like a tight squeeze down to like 8 servers. And now there's a billion of them again, so.
Yeah, I mean... to the sociability aspect of being on Medivh, I was very happy to have found a guild, and we talked on Ventrilo and, had a great time. But then, sadly, Medivh, it was Alliance dominated server. There was very few Horde there, at least at that time. And so, basically, whatever Horde remained, and I'm Horde, they had like a mass exodus from the realm. Everybody basically went to Mal'Ganis.
Wow.
And I did follow suit because my guild just disbanded to transfer to Mal'Ganis. Only a few of us, like tight people, like remained and formed a new guild or continued the guild in Mal'Ganis. But after that guild collapsed, which I don't remember the name of, it was over. No more socialization on WoW for for me.
It's like forgetting a person you've dated what their name is. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know anything. I haven't dated, but I don't know. Okay, so
But I think that's it for 20th anniversary announcements that I can remember.
That I can remember as well. But like in just general WoW, the questing I've been doing, in WoW made it to level 71. Super not
I think
impressive.
It is actually 30 years of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
I think you got it right the first time.
All right. I've just been getting so many emails about it that's probably where it came from. But
anyway, you're level 71.
I'm level 71.
You're chugging along.
I'm
slowly.
also a person that reads every single word of every single quest I do, so I do level a lot slower than a lot of other people. And I sit, and if people are like talking around me, which they have a lot of in this expansion, it will be outside of a quest, but the NPCs will talk to each other. And I just want to hear what they're saying. I want to know what's up.
I definitely did that this time around.
Yeah. So it's not going very fast, but also there is so much information in WoW for me to try and understand, because I haven't played WoW in the past I haven't played really since Shadowlands was the past time I reached max level. So whatever freaking happened in Dragon Isles, it is so much more information for me to try to understand and walk around like Dornogal and all of these vendors, all of these icons on my mini map, like everything everywhere. I'm well and lost, honestly. Half the time I'm lost and I don't even know what I'm looking at.
You know, you can still remove icons from the minimap. However, there are some icons they don't let you remove now. And I'm like, I don't want any icons on my minimap except for mining nodes. That's all I want. I don't like that. I use my minimap not for anything but that.
I was walking around Dornogal trying to complete a quest where they have you go talk to different people around Dornogal. Mm-hmm. And I walked into the transmogrifier and I was like, oh, thank God. I know what's in here because there's a transmog guy. And then I walk into someone else and they require currency. I have no idea what it is. They're selling me things. They so many different vendors, and Dornogal's not it's kind of spread out and not the easiest to navigate. Maybe it'll be once I've been there a lot more, but I just have no idea. I feel like I'm fresh off the boat.
Enjoy it though. You're I remember I did the early release, and when I wasn't in Dornogal, I was like, I don't know where the PvP stuff is. I don't know where the vendors I need are. What is going on here? But then you explore, and you feel I found it. I know my way around this city.
Yeah, I guess. I see what you're saying there. Being fresh off the boat to a new place, getting that sense of newness. But then when I talk to a guard and they the list of so many things that it could show me, and then I'm like, oh, what's this? Points of interest, and there's a whole bunch of other things I don't know what they are. I'm like, I'm lost. I'm so lost right now. I feel like a complete noob.
Are pretty obscure names. They're not really that.
Yeah, the Foundation Hall or something.
Yeah.
I'm just
Who knows
what
the heck that even is?
What?
Yeah.
So.
Meanwhile, you're level 71. I just max leveled my second alt, so three next level.
Complete noob over here. And maybe that's I don't like feeling like a noob in a game I've played since I was 15 years old. But
there's never been a steeper learning curve, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but when Dragonflight came out, they changed wait till you start doing professions again. Professions are a whole new beast.
Speaking of Dragonflight,
it's a whole new game.
I couldn't even figure out how to fly for hours. I couldn't figure out how to fly because I'm just used to pressing the spacebar and being on my merry way. I was I'm pressing the spacebar. It's not working. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm searching Wowhead. I'm searching Icy Veins. Oh, that was frustrating, but I figured it out. Still haven't really figured out with dragon riding how to get it down to go land on the ground as efficiently as I wanted to. So I've just been dismounting when I'm close enough and taking the hit on my armor.
You just land.
What do you mean? You just land?
It doesn't hurt anybody. You just land. You could go straight down full speed, and if you hit the ground, you're landed.
Oh. Okay, well, also this may be another issue that we're not even talking about because why would we? But the mouse has not been working, so I've just been using the trackpad. So that's probably a secondary thing that's been causing
mice problem.
Second mice problem. Oh, so true. So yeah, that's probably affecting my ability to do anything.
Yeah. Sticking in the realm of Blizzard, though, you found an alternative because I think the frustration of the mouse not working.
Yeah.
We have a Steam Deck, and you downloaded Overwatch 2 on it.
I did.
And you've been kind of addicted, I gotta
Super
say.
addicted. Well, I don't know why, but I found I knew Overwatch existed, obviously. Anyone that has your email tied to Blizzard has heard of Overwatch for several. And I actually used to watch the cinematics because I liked what Blizz did for the WoW cinematics since forever. So I was like, oh, new cinematics from Blizzard. Also the StarCraft ones. Also the Diablo ones. Every single cinematic that Blizz comes out with, I've loved. So I'm like, a new cinematic series. Even if I'm not going to play the game, I'll watch these. Though Overwatch cinematics are very, very good.
I haven't seen any of them.
Sorry, because they're so super. They're really, really good. And so I've seen almost all of the Overwatch cinematics. And I just never played the game because I was playing Paladins. I don't really know what led me to choose Paladins over Overwatch, but I got into Paladins and I didn't really feel the need to play anything else. Well, skip forward a few years and Paladins is not playable on the Steam Deck. They have an anti-cheat system which prevents you from playing on the Steam Deck because something with Linux maybe, something with the Steam Deck, not really sure, not playable.
Yeah, they need to get that fixed though.
Yeah, you can download it, you can enter match, you will get kicked right out, which was very frustrating.
Oh, because do they think you're cheating or something?
Yeah, because you don't have the anti-cheat system enabled.
Oh, wow.
So, incredibly frustrating. And so, I then was looking at other games, and I wasn't even just sticking to Paladin-like games. I was just going to play any game. I was even looking at Stardew freaking Valley.
I don't know if you would like
which I was looking at it and I was like, bro, this does not seem like a game that Ola Kea would enjoy whatsoever. But I was just hungry to play a game on the Steam Deck. And then so I went to the free tab, went to what was most popular. Overwatch was on the list and I was like, oh, I'll play Overwatch.
Yeah,
I'll give it a shot.
It's a similar game to Paladin.
It cost me nothing to download it or play it. So, download it, played it, and pretty much got addicted right away.
I'm proud. You have not gamed like this in a long time.
Oh, you mean I've not neglected my other responsibilities to game in a long time? You're correct.
It's refreshing, I love to see my wife being competitive and caring about the simplest of, not simple, I don't know what adjective I'm looking for, but just a game. Just
simple joy.
Fun. Just something for fun.
So I spent a lot of time testing in the training room and the shooting range different characters to figure out what their powers would be, figure out how to use them. And Saris was one of my favorite characters in Paladins, probably my favorite character in Paladins to play, besides Ashe. So Saris is a healer, Ashe is a tank. Not that much of a DPS, strangely enough, because I play Shadow Priest and WoW. But Saris is very much like a Shadow Priest. And so I found the equivalent of Saris in Overwatch, Moira. And so I've been playing that one. The tricky part was, for me, honestly, was that the healing and the damage were left and right trigger was switched from Paladin. So messed that up a bunch. But once I switched them in my brain, which one should be healing and which one should be damage. Got that figured out. Loved that. Ashe, female tank in Paladins. figured out that Zarya was probably the closest one in Overwatch. However, I much prefer the Junker Queen, which is similar in voice acting, but not super similar except for being the same role in Overwatch. So, yeah, I'm addicted, one can say.
You mentioned, speaking of voice acting, that Itachi Uchiha.
Yes, is the voice of Winston in Overwatch. You know, small world.
That's special.
Because we've been trying to finish Naruto Shippuden. Not going super well.
Well, we're like episode, 205?
Out of how many?
500?
Oh my gosh.
I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so like I said, not going that well.
Oh gosh. And the problem is we have so much other anime we want to watch.
We have so much other just shows in general. It's the NFL season. Maybe once the Super Bowl comes and goes, we can focus more on it. But
well, I think for me, I love Naruto and I have a great time.
I love it. Yeah.
But because there's so much more anime out there that I want to watch. Mm-hmm. It's can I not watch that stuff until we get through this giant blob of Naruto?
And also,
it's like a battle.
When we didn't have Netflix for a while because I just didn't think it was necessary. Once we left our old phone provider, I was like, it's whatever. We don't need it. But then Love is Blind. People are talking about it at my work. I keep hearing things. So then we got to put a pause on everything else we were watching to finish the whole season of Love is Blind. Yeah. It's just so much
binge watch Love.
Yeah, pops up. We're still watching Daredevil. We're still watching The Tudors, technically.
Oh my goodness, we have paused on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's just.
And then we started watching Dark.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because you are a fan of Steins Gate, the anime, and I was watching the dub, which was really, really good. And then the way you described it, I was like, I think you would really like Dark. I
liked the first episode. It seems very interesting. So.
Yeah. And there's a song that they used about, I don't know what the song's name is called.
Labyrinth song.
Labyrinth song, yeah. So you've liked that song for years now.
The funny thing is, I thought that song was from Beetlejuice.
Why would you even think that? When I introduced you to the song, did I say anything about Beetlejuice?
You listened to Dead Mom from Beetlejuice.
Oh, that's true.
And then immediately after that, Labyrinth song. So
yes, you are correct. At around the same time I was listening to Dead Mom from the Beetlejuice musical, I was listening to Labyrinth Song, which came out in the third season of Dark. I guess I can see how you would think that.
And I hadn't seen either of them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, have you seen any Beetlejuice movie 1, Beetlejuice movie 2, Beetlejuice musical? Nothing. Well, spooky season's come and gone, so.
Next year.
Now, first thing that we get to do this year that we haven't got to do in previous years is our own traditions for the holidays.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere, so we already got our meal planned for Thanksgiving. I'm excited. Steak!
Yeah.
Because a turkey would be way too big for us.
I looked at what the smallest turkey that we could get at Whole Foods or whatever, 13 pounds. There's just no way.
There's no way. And I don't even know how to cook a turkey.
And I do know how to cook the turkey, but I just don't want to wake up on my very few days off that I get off in the year to wake up super early to start cooking a turkey. That's not fun for me.
I mean, it sounds kind of fun.
I guess if you just don't work any day, if I was a stay-at-home mom, sure, whatever. It's one day they have to wake up early, but I already have to wake up every single day for work. I'm not really interested. And that's the fall of the American family.
Yeah. It all boils down to women working. No, I'm just kidding.
Cheesy beats. Speaking of women who go on red pill pages and they read their new superhero.
Oh,
but speaking of women working or not working, we've been making a lot of guesses about our neighbor and what she's up to, since she demands of everyone that she lives around to blast music at the oddest of hours.
Yeah.
Did you hear that this morning?
No, I didn't hear any music this morning.
Were you just like that asleep?
Oh man, I went to sleep at 2 a.m.
Oh, okay, so you're just that asleep. But it was like it was like a really like emo-y song, but not like a cool emo song, like a lame emo song. And then I'm pretty sure that she's in the parking lot blasting several times somebody that I used to know today.
I think I heard that one.
Yeah.
We, thankfully got out of the mouse situation, but we got into a noise situation here. Like this last weekend, I couldn't sleep because at 5 a.m., it was
very, very early.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
She's like blasting classic rock.
I don't know what even the song is either. Yeah.
Because it's just so loud. And I'm like, what in the world is going, like we predicted she was going to go out and come back maybe with a guy friend.
That's what I said. The song, I don't know what the song was, but it sounded like a sad girl depressed song, and she was blasting it, the same song, over and over, early in the morning, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Like, you only do that when you're depressed. And so I thought when the weekend came around, she was going to go out, bang city, and then be undepressed. And now she's blasting other songs.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to solve that problem.
No, she just like truly doesn't care. Also,
listen, I was like, yeah, she can come back at 2 a.m., make some noise, doesn't matter. 2 a.m., I'm still awake. But then, like, I did not anticipate 4 in the morning being woken up by the most ridiculously loud music.
It was crazy.
It just bothers me that that's okay to somebody.
Yeah,
in an apartment complex.
She's like, oh, whatever. They'll all be fine with it.
Yeah.
They're not going to say anything. And I didn't know that she had a dog until I saw her come down the stairs with a dog, which is like not great for dogs, right? Yeah. They have sensitive hearing.
They have good hearing.
And if it's like loud as F down here, then it's certainly louder as F up there.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. But like we can't really like say anything or
that's the problem because the kids scream sometimes.
Our child screams a lot sometimes in the middle of the night too.
Yeah.
So like if we can hear the music, they're hearing
the kids
screaming. So we're in a little bit of a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a Mexican standoff of noise.
But the difference is we're not like willingly.
Yeah, I mean, I would stop all the noise of both apartments if I could. If I smashed my little wand magic.
Oh man, that would be lovely. Guess earplugs or
I've been looking at earplugs. Headphones. I've been looking at noise canceling headphones. I've been looking at it all.
Well, maybe one day.
Oh, okay. What's the worst game you've ever played?
Video game?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That's tough to think of on the spot because I've played some real stinkers.
Okay, well, here, I just was like, it was a long time ago. I was playing a lot of video games.
League of Legends, sorry. It just came to me.
Oh my gosh, really, lol?
I really hate League of Legends.
But you like that style of game.
I like StarCraft.
Yeah.
That's different than League of Legends.
Okay.
StarCraft actually is like skillful.
Oh,
no, I'm sorry.
Fired.
No.
Shots fired.
You're managing a whole economy and army, micro and macro. So I think I saw a video that said like League of Legends took over because people are just like, they just micro. You know, you can just focus on that one little thing. It's not as like
big picture.
Yeah. So.
Okay, lol.
But no, that was a joke. I've played some real stinkers on like the PlayStation 2, like because like you would rent them or whatever. And I remember this one that was theoretically pretty cool, and maybe it was, but I was just like a dumb kid who didn't know how to play some games. I had a game that I don't remember the name of it, but you're a dragon and you're flying around this like area. And I guess you're supposed to destroy, like, orc encampments or something. But I couldn't figure out how to do anything. So I was just a freaking dragon flying around. And I was like, this is so dumb. I'm wasting my time. So, I mean, it's pretty obscure. And I'm sure it's not that bad of a game. But, like, to me, because I was, like, unable to play it really.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to. because I love Dragon. I thought it was super dumb.
Yeah. So mine is also a PS2 game, which is the time that we probably both like. You played much more variety of game than you probably ever played at any other time in life, because they also don't even just make that many kinds of games now. But my parents got me Ratchet and Clank, and I played Crash Bandicoot. I played Spyro, so I played similar-ish.
I don't want you to be saying right now that you think Ratchet and Clank's a bad game.
I put it in, loaded it up. It was like, I don't like this at all.
Oh,
and I took it out, and I literally never played it again.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
Ratchet and Clank slaps, dude.
This is why I wanted to bring it up.
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I didn't think we should go much farther.
Enthusiast is going to say Ratchet and Clank is fun.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want us to go too far into marriage without you knowing this about me.
I'm a little disappointed.
Sorry, it just when I think about like the least fun I've ever had, that was the game.
Wow. Man, they remade those. We're going to get them and we're going to play together.
What?
You're going to be like, this is so fun.
What? I just don't see that being likely. But I mean,
I'm very surprised at that, though.
I know. I know. I'm sorry.
No, you know, your experiences are your own. So.
And the next day
I don't
she
play
was
a shadow
served.
priest. I don't really like playing a priest, and that's like your whole wild life. So
Yeah.
you know, we all different strokes for different folks. You know,
Yeah. No judgment then.
No.
Okay, I'll try and believe you. Okay, so you've been playing. Have we talked about how much you've been playing Marvel Snap?
No. That is another game that I just recently discovered. I heard it was actually a fun game, and I, like Yu-Gi-Oh, and I play Magic a little bit. Well, that's actually why I started playing Marvel Snap. Was I wanted to play Magic.
Yeah.
So I downloaded that, but I saw in the suggested Marvel Snap, which I guess I got advertised to. But I remembered, like, oh yeah, Marvel Snap, let's check that out before I play Magic.
Right.
Because I'm like, I know what to expect from Magic, and I've heard Marvel Snap is kind of fun, so like, I'm going to try it out. Oh, Hearthstone, I also played Hearthstone back in the day. But I didn't want to play that either. So I downloaded it, and I just played it last night, actually. That's when I started playing it. And I was like, that's kind of fun. It's very, like, creative. Like, it's a different kind of trading card game. And today I played it some more, and I'm like, this is addictive. Like, I've played 20 rounds. I think some of the best parts about it is it's a set, like, 6-round card game.
Can't just go on forever.
It can't go on forever. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you could be playing for literally a half hour plus on one duel. It's always like a 5-minute game, and it's just interesting. I like the characters; they do a great job with the aesthetic, and it's fun.
It does make me a little bit jealous that Marvel has like Disney has decided to create this card game when they could have just kept the servers going for Marvel Heroes Online, paying whoever they need to.
Different.
Not to
totally
me.
Different.
Not to me. I loved Marvel Heroes Online. I loved it with every breath that I had. And I told you earlier, there were points when if I had to choose between WoW being shut down or Marvel Heroes, I would have chose WoW to be shut down so that I could keep playing Marvel Heroes. I had so many max level. I loved playing Phoenix, Storm, Daredevil. No, I did not have a max level Daredevil. I had max level Deadpool. So like I bought skins. I loved it so much. And when it got shut down, like, a part of me died, and it will never be reborn. And just like they had like real characters from the comics.
2.0.
That's what I mean. Like, why every time I love something, it's taken away from me?
That is true.
Yeah.
You have a love for some kind of games that I had never heard of before, and they're no longer with us. Well, City of Heroes,
they did officially like bless that fan server, so you can play it now.
We played a little bit. That was fun.
I did have a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah. I don't think you have the computer anymore that had that.
No,
installed.
I got rid of that computer, so I have just my copy of my hard drive on something. But
it's a different ball game, okay? Card games, trading card games, mostly it's like a money scheme. Let's just be honest here.
Is it like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you're like, oh, I'm going to buy some packs today?
In Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I've only left one negative review on Steam, and that was for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because I had wasted 45 minutes of my life on one duel and waiting for someone's turn to be combo to be over. It was basically like a
one combo.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It just the nature of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you know what I'm talking about, it's just you're sitting there on their turn, they're chaining abilities or whatever. And then on my turn, you would think it's my turn to play. No, they chain over and over again. And then I finally had some gems, and I spent them all, and I got 2 ultra rares.
Ooh.
Because I don't buy them with money. I try to earn them because I'm cheap. And so I was like, this is so dumb. I just wasted so much time. And I got nothing out of it. And so I was like, oh, I hate this game. It's definitely pay to win, blah, 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 blah. I rescinded that comment because I did start playing. I wanted to play it again.
How magnanimous of you.
I wanted to play it again because I got the itch. I guess I have an ethical gray line there.
Is it called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links?
There's 2 different games.
Oh my gosh, there's 2 different Yu-Gi-Oh! games?
Duel Links is more like a speed duel kind of thing where it can, those duels can go on for a bit too, but it's a bit shorter because it's only 3 zones instead of 5, like the full game. So, I think I've enjoyed Duel Links more in my life than Master Duel, but yeah. Anyway, the whole thing with these card games is to make money. I just looked through Marvel Snap today, and you could buy an $80 pack of a whole bunch of different stuff. And I'm like, that's just the nature of mobile games and those type of games.
But I'm wondering why Disney even needs to do this, because I recently was looking.
People will buy it.
Well, I was looking at the price of comic books recently, and when I started buying comic books back in 2008-ish, they were $2.99, which was already expensive per comic book.
Yeah.
And there are larger comics that could be more than that. The going rate for the major studio comic books now is $4.99.
Yeah, I mean, we were just at the mall and saw some comics there, and I was like, well, these are expensive.
Yeah, and I used to have pull lists where I would go into a store, they'd have my list, they'd pull these comics for me every week, and I would go in there every 2 to 3 weeks, and it would be $75 to $95. So divide that by 3, that's how many comic books I was getting every time that I would go in. But if I had that, I can't even imagine having the same pull list, because I would get DC Comics, I would get Marvel Comics, I would get Dark Horse, I would get Image, I would get all the titles I was interested in. There's no way I could do that now. I don't even know, honestly, how
hobby, probably,
I don't even know how I was doing it back then, working an hourly wage job, buying all those comics, probably because I had nothing else going on in my life. But it just wouldn't be feasible to have the same kind of pull list now.
Yeah. Well,
sad. And now they have this Marvel Snap, and they still have to have super expensive comics.
Marvel stuff can exist outside of the comics.
You're saying that I shouldn't judge things based off of things that have almost nothing to do with them?
Correct.
Disagree.
In the end, we have a very fun and I think creative trading card game that I, as a trading card game enthusiast, can actually enjoy with minimal frustration and minimal time spent.
You don't want me to poop on that?
Yeah,
okay.
Just let me live in it. I've been playing it for 1 day, and I'm getting this thing pooped on.
Yeah, that's true.
And you love Marvel.
I love Marvel. Love it. Yeah.
I thought you would be happy for me.
It's true. I always said my 3 great loves in life were Marvel, WoW, and Star Wars.
Well, Star Wars is divorcing them without a choice.
So that's somebody that I used to know.
Maybe they'll turn it around. Maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
It'll
maybe
be like
they won't.
X coming back.
Ooh, I don't want that. No, thank you, is what I will have said. Oh, also a no thank you might be, you know how I said I was going to probably use Twine to do some of the game writing?
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm going to use it anymore because I don't think it will be any more helpful to me than just writing in like a Word doc.
Oh, okay.
So maybe if we make one of those games later on, I'll use it, but I just don't foresee it being that helpful for our time right now. So, okay. We haven't even started watching this show yet, and we're not like, I don't know. I'll just say we're about to talk about Dune Prophecy.
Oh.
Let me not keep you in suspense.
I mean, we just talked about how many shows we're watching right now. How are we going to get to Dune Prophecy?
Oh, I have no idea. But I am pretty excited to see Ragnar Lothbrok / LoTR.
Oh, yeah.
The actor's not in a lot of stuff.
I don't remember his name, but he's amazing as Ragnar and LoTR.
Yeah.
And you're right. We don't see him a whole lot, so.
His name is LoTR forever.
His name's Ragnar forever.
Just like when we were watching Snowden, and I was like, Khadgar. He's forever going to be Khadgar.
Well, yeah.
But, so we have actually read the first Dune book. I don't know. I'm probably going to piece a lot of people off by this. I wasn't so super impressed.
It was all right. It was kind of boring.
Yeah. It was
at some point.
Kind of boring, yeah. There are a million books after that, so maybe the story truly picks up. But the problem that I had with Dune, it just gets so hyped that like maybe that doesn't work in its favor truly. If we'd read it years ago before this was a whole thing, we wouldn't even have to be like, it's just not that good. We could just enjoy it for what it is. But Sword Art Online, Kirito, how people come at him for being good pretty much at everything that he does. Women just fall for him wherever he goes. Like, I think the same thing of Paul Atreides.
Mary Sue.
Yeah, like they're not that different of characters. So all the people that hated on Sword Art Online seem to be the same people that like applaud everything that Dune does, and I just don't really get it.
Well, I don't know if those are the same people.
What?
Exactly, but I do see your point, though, because Paul Atreides basically...
He's good at everything he does.
He's basically like a god in Dune. Not like in the sense of like mythical powers, but kind of.
Yeah. And like he just gets women. They just like fall for him. Like, I mean, when you create these characters that are super good, like that's kind of just like a natural consequence of it. But I feel like they're super similar characters. But I'm not watching Dune to enjoy Paul Atreides. I love Zendaya and I love everything that she does. So I thought that was super good. Now, neither of these characters will be in Dune Prophecy whatsoever because they won't even be like a sperm in their dad's balls.
Way back when.
Yeah.
Prequel.
Very prequel.
Yeah, I like it for the, I guess just like set design and costuming. They do a really good job.
Yeah.
So.
And the actors they've chosen, very good actors, so we're gonna watch it, obviously. Eventually is the name of the game with shows and us nowadays.
Do I want to watch it more than like finish Daredevil, which came out 10 years ago, or start Punisher, like, I don't know.
It's gonna be there, but we haven't even watched a single second of The Penguin, so...
That's true, and we actually had some interest in that, too.
Yeah.
So we also... started Rings of Power, and then we forgot about it.
Completely forgot about it.
And then we just rediscovered we didn't watch the last episode. So
I thought we'd finished, honestly. Yeah. But we watched the final episode months after it came out.
Yeah. It is what it is.
We've been watching way more lore videos.
The lore videos are the lore videos are more interesting than the actual show.
That is sad and so true, honestly. Like the ones we've watched about Tom Bombadil, about Morgoth is how you pronounce that?
Yeah, Morgoth.
Morgoth.
And Sauron's history and what he actually is. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I had
and the crazy
no
thing
idea.
Is, I'm like a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Like, I read the books and I watch the movies, obviously, all the time. But I never really had the itch to like dig deeper in the lore because it is just like great as what it is.
It's very dense lore also.
Yeah, and that's the ironic thing is like there's not a fantasy world out there probably with more dense lore. So now that we're actually doing that, I'm enjoying it.
I really love the videos too. I think the people that produce them do a really good job. I would have liked the story a little more, and I understand you only have so many minutes in an episode. You can only put so much in there. But why did they never talk or give us a little bit more hint to what Sauron actually is?
Like in the TV show?
Yeah, in Rings of Power. Like, you don't have to dumb it down and say like, oh, he's pretty much an angel that's fallen or something like that.
Yeah,
but you can do something.
It is pretty like unexplained because like, I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen it, obviously, but like they show him like what he was before, and then he died and came back, and like, no one really explained the whole like flesh,
flesh changing, the shit, and that in itself is pretty deep lore of how they get really attached to their bodies,
the consequences of doing that, and the benefits of doing it too.
So I just think that makes the character better, but they didn't do any of that.
No.
And we watched, and they said, okay, they made all the rings. And then, like, what, millennia later, they make the one ring. And I was like, okay, so pretty much we're definitely not following the storyline from the Silmarillion.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, so someone said this, I think I saw it in, like, a Cinefix video on YouTube or something that, like when you go to see a movie, like, people, the creators of the movie, like, basically assume that the audience is stupid.
Yeah, they have to.
They have to, right? They can't make it too complex. And I think that's kind of what happened in this show. Maybe just, like, they took too many liberties also, but, like, comparing the actual lore to what was presented to us makes them feel like, oh, they think we're stupid, and we will think that, like, the whole, like, flesh and Sauron's being thing is actually too complicated.
Which is very sad. Maybe they're right, and maybe there are people out there who are like, I don't even know what's going on in this version of Lord of the Rings. But when compared with Peter Jackson's decisions for the Lord of the Rings and what he decided to keep in and what he decided to remove, and famously, Tom Bombadil was one of the things he decided to remove, I just feel like the decision-making, for one, award-winning, obviously. Yeah. The other, not very good.
Well, I think it got nominated or something for some Emmys.
I'm sure it got nominated because the things happening outside of just like the story, like the set design, the costuming. I didn't pay attention to any awards this season, so if I got one for acting or writing, I'd be super surprised. Idea. But
I did like season 2 better than season 1, probably.
Yeah, incrementally.
Yeah, it's hard. There's like bits and pieces that I like from both, but I think there are more bits and pieces from season 2 that I like.
I do like the actor that plays Sauron. I do think he does a very good job. He's my favorite part of the show.
He's very good at the manipulative, like, face.
So much so that, like, when they did this last season too, and I was like, okay, a twist, woohoo, I love a twist. When they say Grand Elf, and then they're like Gandalf, I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't. That's so. Now I feel like you think
that
I'm
makes
stupid.
Me think like, was that really in the? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look it up. Was that really in the history? Like, is that how Gandalf got his name? Is Grand Elf?
Ooh. It truly...
That makes me think of Game of Thrones.
Hodor?
Hodor, hold the door.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's just some things that are just so... and maybe it is, like you said, they think we're all idiots and we can't handle anything too complex, so they dumb it down literally to Gandalf, the Grand Elf.
Oh, but here's one thing that Dune might have over Rings of Power is that I think that HBO shows typically have better writing than Amazon and some Disney. So maybe it'll be good because of that. Then maybe they'll take some liberty because it's basically the same thing, right? Yeah. You got Lord of the Rings, and then you got like the prequel of Rings of Power, and then you got Dune, and then you're gonna have the prequel Dune Prophecy. It's basically the same kind of concept. Let's see how they execute.
I would agree. Historically, HBO has some true bangers, but House of the Dragon,
Divorced.
I mean, yeah, come on. I could sit here all day and name, starting from when I watched The Wire to Divorce to...
I have heard The Wire is really good.
It is really good. I mean, the first seasons, the last seasons are kind of corny. But there has been a noticeable fall, I'll say. A fall. House of Dragons, I think some people probably don't like the way that it's being written. And the last season of Game of Thrones was one of the worst things anyone's ever seen. So
that's true. That's fair.
We'll see.
I can't say I've watched a ton more HBO shows, so I just going off of what I heard from.
But Amazon was, at least in the early days of like them creating original content, was known for letting creators do more what they want to do. That's why the car.
Oh, The Last of Us?
No. Well, yeah, Last of Us, but also the car show people that you like.
Oh,
with Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, Grand Tour.
Grand Tour.
Oh, yeah.
They went to Amazon because they were going to have more control over their IP than they were going to get previously, and also they weren't going to make one of the members of the show be fired. So I was hopeful for Amazon. I'm still hopeful. There are shows I like on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Great maybe British Scandal.
I should back up a moment. Fallout was really good.
Oh my gosh, was Fallout super good.
Last of Us, they did really well. Fallout was great. So yeah,
I think The Last of Us is on HBO.
Oh, I thought it was on Prime. Well, there you go.
There you go. It's so good we don't even know which platforms it's on.
I don't know.
Upload. I don't know if you've ever seen me watching that one where I'm like, oh, he's dead. And
we watched one episode.
I watched every episode.
Yeah.
So.
Well, together we watched one.
Yeah. True. Well, that just, I don't know if that says something about Dune, that we try and talk about Dune and then we super get off track and talk about everything besides Dune. We'll watch it eventually.
The most interesting story in the world for me. So.
Yeah, don't tell your siblings that.
But okay, then I think that's it that we got for today. Let's talk a little bit about like our self-expectations for the game development.
Okay, well, since I'm not going to be using Twine really, because there's no point for me to use it, I'll just write in Word. I'm going to I'm not going to say, let me write the whole rest of the game. Let me just start with writing 5 levels, I think. That's like a tangible goal of write 5 levels, what they will have, and then hand that over to you.
Yeah, and I feel like this like mountain of work that I have to do just to get the tutorial done, because I gotta, not just make the functionality like look decent. Like for example, the water spill that I created, like I got it working. It disappears when I walk over it, but like that's not a fun game, So I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of scoring system and like. How do you clean stuff up, objects, inventory? I gotta basically tackle all these things at once. So I think a level 1 prototype might have been like too stretchy of a goal, but like maybe just addressing and adding different types of cleaning. So maybe I'll say like add 3 more types of cleaning functionality into the game and maybe focus less on assets and more on the functionality so that we can like, here's everything's functional. Now let's just draw everything.
Yeah.
And now we have a level 1 prototype.
Yeah. And, my butt idea is always open to use there.
Yeah, maybe I'll just flush that one. I don't know.
Nice one. Nice. So do you have a name for this, or am I going to have to come up with it in post?
Can you put butt in the title?
I actually don't know.
Bring in more viewers like Zalatas.
Oh my gosh. We're going to be the Naughty Body Parts podcast.
The Naughty Body Parts podcast. I dare you to put that in the title. Has nothing to do with what we're talking
Not
about.
at all. Not illuminating one bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Subtitle. Yeah, I guess I'll just come up with it in post. Wizard it up. Like some grand elf. Okay, well, that's it for this week. We'll be seeing ya. I'm Achaea.
I'm Tennyson.
Bye.
Bye.